Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Trainer Talk. Today we're going to be talking about how to convince yourself to go to the gym when you don't want to. So this is something that happens very, very frequently, even for us. We're also going to touch on like when you are at the gym and there's certain parts of your workout that you don't want to do. How do you change your mindset or convince yourself to do the workout that you don't want to do? This happens way more frequently for us because a lot of times in our workout, we have different parts. So we have a strength portion, a gymnastics portion, some accessories, and then we always usually finish with the dreadful Metcon. And a lot of days, it's very, very hard for us to want to do that, especially if you're tired or you're really, really sore, or if the workout looks like it's gonna be an awful one. Sometimes it's really hard to kind of get going and do it. So we wanna try to help you guys change your mindset and convince yourself to either make it to the gym to work out or push yourself through that hard workout that you have upcoming. So a couple of things, for us, like for me personally, if I'm a little tired, if I don't really feel like working out, I will mix up my pre-workout and drink it. Not only will that give me that the caffeine boost to just get a little bit more focused, but once I drink that, I know, okay, I have about 30 minutes before this is going to be kicked in. I need to start warming up and working out. So it's almost kind of works two ways, psychologically and because it actually helps give you energy. Once you drink it, you're kind of in that mindset to start working out. So that's just something that I do. Another thing is like I'll just put my gym equipment on. So like I'll get dressed to work out, put my shoes on. Once I have that on, you're way more likely to start your workout. Another one that I really like to do is just kind of like remind yourself of why you're training, what your goals are. A lot of times if you just think about, okay, why do I go to the gym every day? Why am I working out? And reminding yourself of that, it can kind of change your mindset and motivate you to get to the gym and start working out. So those were some of the ones I have. I have a few more, but I'll let these guys share a couple of their ideas because a lot of them are very similar. And then we'll just kind of keep bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, humans kind of tend to want to be comfortable more than being uncomfortable, and working out, you're pretty much always uncomfortable if you're doing it right because you're pushing the limits. You're either trying to do more weight, more reps, you're feeling the muscle burn. So it's not a super comfortable feeling. Like you feel good afterwards, but in the moment, you're kind of questioning why you're doing it a little bit. And then before, you kind of remember already, like for this past week, we've been doing some repeat workouts or workouts that are very similar, and we know how they're gonna feel, or we remember how they felt last time we did it, which would have been the open, and we were just going all out, and we remember the pain that we were in that middle of that workout, and it's hard to kind of get going and to do that workout again, like just knowing like, oh, this is probably gonna hurt just as bad as it did last time. Might hurt worse, might hurt less, but you don't know. So you almost have a little bit of like anxiety going into it. So that creates a little bit of a barrier of like, I really don't want to do this. And that happened a lot this week, which I think people don't realize that happens to us too. They probably think that we just always are motivated, but honestly, we're just more disciplined. I had someone ask me, what are you training for? And I like paused for like a second because I couldn't think of an answer off the top of my head. It's just something we do. Like it's not even a point of a question right now of are you going to train? Why are you training? It's training to get better. We train to improve ourselves and prepare ourselves for life. So, we might have other goals of like, oh, we want to get this amount in a back squat. We want to be this good at rowing. We want to improve double unders or get that skill. And we have little mini goals inside of it, but honestly it just comes down to identifying yourself with like, you're gonna come in and train 5 days a week and just committing yourself to that and being disciplined to that, and it becomes almost like you're doing it unconsciously. Like you don't even question, am I gonna work out today? What time am I gonna work out? We know what time we're working out, what days, and we know we already have the workout plan, so we don't even have to really think about it, we just have to do it.
And those are all great tips actually that she just said. Like scheduling your workout can help you make it to the gym when you don't want to. Like block off that time and kind of commit to it. And then just don't even think about it. Just make it second nature. Like drive into the gym. Just drive to the gym and sit in the parking lot. Even if you don't want to. Like if you get there, and then just walk in the door. And that is usually enough to like, okay, I'm here, just put your shoes on, and then you're way more likely to start. A lot of people just give up. As soon as they think, oh, I don't want to go to the gym, they go home. That's the last thing you should do if you're leaving from work or something like that. Once you get home, you're very, very unlikely to actually make it back up to the gym. So if you are somebody that works out right after work, just drive yourself to the gym. Make sure your bag's packed, things like that. If it's first thing in the morning, just commit to getting up and having your bag ready to go, and just getting your car and driving to the gym. I think that will really help a lot.
Yeah, I love to like go on Instagram and look up like my favorite like people who do CrossFit or whatever. If you like bodybuilding, you can look up your favorite bodybuilders, whatever kind of workouts you're doing. Just go on their Instagram or wherever and watch their videos of them working out. And every time it just motivates me, like, okay, I can do this. Like and like a lot of times I'll look at them and be like, man, I really want to be that strong. I really want to look like that. And I know that the only way I'm going to look like that or be that strong is if I do this workout. And that's kind of what I had to tell myself today, because today was the day I did not want to do my workout. I probably said 10 times that I don't want to work out today. I don't want to do it. But I knew that the only way that I'm going to get stronger and the only way I'm going to reach my goals is if I work out. Another thing is like having little rewards, like, and not every single day, but for example, I know next weekend I've got 2 weddings, Friday and Saturday. I know I want to eat whatever I want to eat. I want to have some drinks. I want to not work out maybe 1 or 2 of the days. So I know like this week I'm going to push myself and do all of my workouts so that I can take some time off and enjoy myself next week without any guilt. So have like something that you can look forward to, whether you're gonna go out to dinner on Saturday, you're gonna go get some ice cream on Saturday, you're gonna, whatever it is, whatever motivates you, like have those little rewards. And then remembering that you get to work out and it's not a punishment. Like we've said this before, but there are so many people who literally cannot work out for whatever reason and would die to be able to do what we do, whether they're in a wheelchair or paralyzed or whatever it is. This definitely is a reward, and you'll never regret finishing a workout. So as much as I did not want to work out today, when I got done, I was so proud of myself because I went over my goal that I had for myself, and I just felt so good and so accomplished afterwards. And it's the hardest workouts that you feel the most accomplished afterwards. So you never ever regret doing it. It's just getting yourself to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would almost kind of reverse what she said. So like having rewards for, putting in a really hard week, like you get to kind of enjoy yourself on like a Friday or Saturday night. But at the same token, like if you have a terrible week, like if you skipped all your workouts, don't go reward yourself by drinking and eating pizza all weekend. Like you should have a consequence and put it in, like make it a strict rule. Like, hey, if I don't work out 3 days and eat really healthy during the week, I can't go out and enjoy myself this weekend. And if you want to do that every weekend, well, you better be putting in the work during the week, pretty much. Is kind of how I look at it, honestly, too. Like, I'm in the same boat as her. If I know, especially this summer, I think this coming weekend is like the first weekend where I have nothing planned. There's not anything going on, whether it's like a wedding or a party or a camping trip or a family gathering, something like that, so I can just chill. But all those other weekends, knowing that I was probably going to have some bad food, maybe a few drinks, I was pushing myself way harder during the week and making sure I was eating clean all week long. That way I'm not losing a ton of progress. So that is definitely a very, very good tip. And I love I do a very similar thing with the looking up kind of like your idols and stuff, like who you want to be like motivates you when you're watching other people do that stuff. I think me and Bethany could probably say like watching the CrossFit Games documentaries definitely amps us up and gets us excited. We kind of want to train after that, even before I worked out that day. You're like watching it, you're like, okay, I want to work out again. But even like putting on your favorite songs that get you hyped up. Like if you're driving to the gym or something, like put a song on that's gonna like get you fired up and ready to work out. Like that is a very, very good and easy way to get excited. You could watch a YouTube video of like a motivational and inspirational video. Those always work really, really well for me. They have some really sweet, like 1 to 3 minute, you can even look up like fitness motivational video, and they have like a really powerful speech with a bunch of people working out, and it just immediately, like, you're ready to go and work out. So that's another really good way. So that's kind of all things like getting you to the gym, getting you going. I also wanted to talk a little bit about like before I start like a really hard workout. Like just the other day, I was a little bit tired. I had a really bad like stomach ache when I was starting my workout. So I was really having a hard time getting going, and I made it through the first couple parts, and the Metcon comes up, and there was like 80 deadlifts at 225 pounds and 120 bar facing burpees, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I don't even know if I want to do this. I don't know if I can make it through without throwing up. But basically, I just like told myself, you know what? It's literally like 20 minutes of my time, and it's going to be over. And then I grabbed the timer, the remote for the clock, and I set up the clock, and then I just hit start. And usually when you hit start and you got that 10-second countdown, it's like there's no turning back now. You pretty much gotta start. So that is one thing that I do, is I literally just start the clock and don't even think about it, just hit that start button. So if you have a timer on your phone, or if you can use a clock here at the gym, grab it. If you don't want to start, just hit start button and you'll get to work pretty much. I also just keep telling myself, do one round or do one set. And then typically after that set, I'll be like, all right, do another one. You can do one more. So telling yourself one more rep or one more set or one more round, if you just do that, don't think about the 8 rounds you gotta do or the 15 minutes or 20 minutes you gotta do. Think about the 1 minute of work or the 2 minutes of work, the one round. Get through that, and then usually you can keep pushing yourself through the rest of them. It's normally just that first little tiny bit of getting going that's the hardest part. Getting to the gym is the hardest part. It's not even the workout. And like Caitlin said, you're never going to regret a workout. You're only going to regret not doing a workout. So I love that you said that. So yeah, those are all my tips on that. I'll let these guys share anything else that they have.
Having a workout partner is definitely important. It helps to keep you accountable of when you're going to come to the gym, because they're expecting you to be there. You're going to show up, you're going to warm up together, and you're going to do all the parts together, and then that way you pretty much know that you're going to get it done, and you're not questioning, am I going to do this? Should I do 3 rounds instead of 4? Well, Caitlin's over here working out with me. She's doing 4 rounds, so I better do 4 rounds too. I can't just do 3 rounds and be like, yep, I'm done. See ya, have fun, and not finish the rest of the workout. That's kind of what happened the other day. We were like, all right, we got 4 rounds of this workout to do. We really only want to do 3. But by the time we finished the 3rd one, I was like, we might as well just do the 4th one because we're here anyways. So even if going in, did not want to do it, I didn't regret it doing it afterwards. I wasn't happy about doing it afterwards because I felt it, my body. It was, you can feel some of them tougher workouts, but you feel better that you push through it. On those more uncomfortable, more painful workouts, sometimes you just got to tell yourself, the pain or discomfort is temporary. It's not actual pain. You're going to be fine 15 minutes afterwards. So you just kind of have to put your head down. Like you said, take it 1 rep at a time, 1 round at a time. Whatever you need to do to break it down so that way you can do it. Because it is kind of daunting looking at the whole workout and saying, oh my gosh, I have 80 deadlifts and 120 bar facing burpees to do in this time. And it seems like a lot, but if you just go, okay, can I do 1 more deadlift? Yeah, I can. Okay. Can I do 1 more burpee? Can I do another round? Yeah, I can do another round. And just breaking it down in those little pieces, it makes it manageable in your head. If you make it out to be this whole big thing, sometimes we kind of dramatize things a little bit more than we need to. We play them out to be harder in our head, almost trying to convince ourselves to not do it, or convince ourselves, make excuses for why we don't need to work out today because I'm sore or I had hard workouts the other days. But you can still work out even if you're sore. If you're really sore and if something's painful, there's a difference between soreness and pain. If something's hurting you, then of course scale it or don't do certain movements that cause you pain. But soreness you can kind of work through once you get warmed up. And that's, coming in, I was pretty sore today, but once you get moving, you're fine. So getting over that initial hurdle and just, like you said, start the timer, then there's no turning back at that point.
Yeah, and if you like truly don't have a partner, like you can't convince somebody to come work out with you, come try a class, because then you're gonna have people right alongside you. You're not gonna have to think about what you're doing because we're gonna tell you what to do. And then you have kind of like that partner feeling of, it's just better to die with somebody else than die alone. Like there is just so much truth in that. Or even if like sometimes we can't always work out together on this at the same time, but we'll still like both do the workouts at different times, and it's still nice because then I can say, hey, how did you do on that? And I still know that she did it, even if it was earlier in the day or a different day. So just, I don't know, if you can like have somebody to do it with you or doing the same program, or come to a class and try to do something like that.
Yeah, or personal training. You know, if you're somebody that can't motivate yourself or has struggles with accountability, that's kind of what we're here for, is literally accountability and leading you through workouts and helping you through them and making you do the stuff that you don't want to do is another big thing that we talk about a lot. Is, you know, the things that you don't want to do are the things that you need to do every single workout in order to get better. But a big thing, I wanted to kind of go back to what Bethany said, like, you know, when one of our members, which is a good friend of ours, like said, well, you know, what are you guys training for? What are you training for? It's like, we're not training for anything specifically. We're literally just like, our identity is we are CrossFit athletes. Like, we identify ourselves as athletes, and athletes train. We just do it because we love it, kind of, you know, even though we hate it in moments, you know, while you're doing it, the feeling that you get afterward is like 100 times worth it. You know, you feel so much better. And I think it's what Caitlin said, like the hardest workouts, you feel the most successful or the most rewarding to you when you finish those really hard workouts. And on top of that, if it's a really hard workout that you really don't want to do, then it's even more rewarding. You know, the workout the other day with the deadlifts and burpees, like, not only did I know it was going to be hard, but I also really didn't want to do it. And once I did it, I felt extremely accomplished. And I even made a post about it, just saying, like, you know, there are days where you're not going to want to do something, but just, you know, convince yourself to do it anyways, and you're going to feel so much better. Because if you do skip it, you're going to beat yourself up. You know, you're going to wish you hadn't. And the next day, you know, those next workouts are going to be even harder because you missed previous ones and things like that. That's something else we see, is we see a lot of people make excuses and they'll miss a week, and then when they come back, the workouts are so hard, they're extremely sore, and then they want to skip more because they're sore, and it's kind of like an endless cycle. But if you just stay consistent with it, if you can convince yourself to just show up, you know, every day or 3 days a week, however often you're training, you know, it's so much easier to stick with it. And it's kind of like what you said earlier, an object in motion stays in motion. If you're consistently working out every single week, it's so much easier to show up every single day to train. If you're sporadic and you work out for 3 months and then take a month off, it's gonna be really hard to get started back up again. Like, you're gonna not only not be where you were, which is very, you know, defeating when you can't lift the same amount that you could lift before, your endurance is declined, things like that. You know, it's really hard to get going again, and then you're super, super sore, and you kind of just feel bad about quitting. So the easiest thing to do is just make sure you don't quit, basically. Just keep training, convince yourself to go, remind yourself of those whys, put your shoes on, get in your car, go to the gym, and then start that clock.
Yeah. Consistency is definitely more important than intensity, because some people could come in and they're just like, all right, I'm going to work out 5-6 days a week, or like 2 workouts a day, something crazy. And like, you could do that for a week or two, probably not much more than that, because you're going to be so tired and sore and you're not even going to want to do it. So having those like little things every day that you can do, whether if it's even, you don't want to come to the gym, go for a run or go for a walk, do a quick at-home body weight thing. Just something to at least keep your body and keep your brain in that mode of like, hey, I work out every day. Because then you start to build the identity of it. The habits become who we are. And in the beginning, it might be a lot harder. It might take you a few months to really start to identify, like, I am a person that works out, or identifying with certain trainings that you do. and kind of centering, your life kind of starts to filter around that when you start to identify yourself. And you're not gonna do a behavior that's against your identity. And that's one thing that I think people like really, it's hard for some people to understand. If they still identify as someone being out of shape or someone who like isn't fit, kind of like what we talked about the other week, if they still identify as that, it's a lot harder for them to have the behaviors of going to the gym and eating clean, and then versus having the identity that they are a healthy person and that they're fit, they work out. It's a lot easier for them to kind of overcome those barriers and come in and get this work done, basically.
It's a great point, actually, because for those people that say, you know, I'm out of shape or I'm overweight, I'm fat, I can't do this, I can't do that, you're identifying yourself as an unfit, unhealthy person. And unfit and unhealthy people don't work out. So if you change that mindset and say, I am healthy, I am fit, well, fit and healthy people work out and they eat good. So you're way more likely to work out and eat good if you tell yourself, I'm a fit and healthy person, because that's what fit and healthy people do. So just changing that mindset will definitely break that barrier.
Yeah, there's like the little mantra for Christians is what would Jesus do? For someone else, it would be what would a CrossFit Games athlete do? What would a professional bodybuilder do? What would these people that you look up to or people that you aspire to be like, who you hold as idols almost, like what choices would they make? Would they come to the gym when they don't want to? Probably. Would they eat what they meal prepped instead of going out for fast food? Probably. And I mean, obviously they have a little flexibility here or there, but most of the time, all you gotta do is ask yourself these questions. What would the best version of myself do? What would the fittest, healthiest version of myself do? And then in those situations, you're able to choose. Once you feel like you're making the choice to do the hard workout or the choice to do the right thing, then you feel better about it. It's not like you're making yourself do it, because then you get that little like rebellious child in you, some people do anyways, of like almost like you're being dictated or made to do something, like you have to work out, kind of like what you said. Instead of having to work out, you're choosing because you're like, well, if I want to be fit and healthy, this is what I need to do. So you're really kind of reassociating the exercise, whatever activity you want to do, so it's not as uncomfortable and you want to do it. You're expecting maybe it will be uncomfortable, but it's okay. I think that's another thing, is expecting that it might be a little uncomfortable. Is like going into the workouts, if you think it's just going to be fine and it's not going to be uncomfortable at all, you're not going to feel any pain in your legs or your lungs, then when that hits, it's harder in the workout. So maybe just going in expecting that, hey, this might not be comfortable to do this, and that's okay, and that's where you're going to get better.
Yep, for sure.
That's good. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, the only other thing I was going to say is, like, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So every workout that you miss or every week that you skip, like, think about that, you know, in the sense, like, am I getting better as a person or worse? Or am I getting better in my health or worse in my health? So, you know, just communicating with yourself and asking those questions, like she said, will hopefully help motivate you and get you in here. But the hardest part is literally just showing up. Once you're here, usually you can get going and use any of these tips that we gave you to hopefully push a little harder and push through your workouts. So hopefully this helps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Obviously, we're here to help hold people accountable and motivate you and put you through workouts that you don't want to do, things like that. And we have a community that surrounds themselves. They're all like-minded. We're all in the same boat. We're all trying to get better. We all are pushing ourselves. So if you want to just surround yourself with people that can make you better, then obviously show up and come in and surround yourself in that community. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. That way you can see all of our future videos. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.